City won the 188th Manchester derby by 6-3. It included 2 hat-tricks, one, of course, for Erling Haaland, his 3rd hat-trick of the season, and another for Phil Foden, the first Manchester-born player to score a hat-trick.
Simply, how good were your side today, particularly in the first half?
I scored 4 goals that we couldn't score really more. So I was in the half time we thought we have to continue, but it was more difficult, and they played better in the second half, but in the last minutes we were flat, but great victory, good game, everyone was happy in the stadium and they enjoyed it, we enjoyed it.
Eric, overall today, just where and how did that go wrong for Manchester United?
Lack of belief.
That's very surprising, having won your last 4. Were you surprised by that?
I'm surprised why we didn't bring that on the pitch. I've seen, but it's obviously 4 weeks ago, I've seen a different team, a different spirit, and convincement. And today we didn't have convincement. From the first minute on, we were not front foot.
Manchester City had to wait 52 years for a
City fan as well. Me and Erling's built that connection now, and we're finding each other. And it's just been a pleasure.
Made.
Like you said, it's still progress. I mean, if you would be winning anything, it would be a different conversation. I don't think we're going to take this as a very tough defeat, but again, there's a next game in the next few days. And
what I love about the team, first of all, we always want to go and to attack, and in the end, it's amazing.
Describe just how unbelievable he is. Even you, do you stand there as his coach think?
It is, so the numbers speak for himself. But I have to say something. He has done this before he arrived here, so it's not because in Norway and in Austria and Germany didn't score goals. So always we try to seduce them. Like starving is so competitive and the numbers are scary, honestly.
Because we have 4-0 down, out of respect for Cristiano, for his big career. And the other thing, there was then the advantage I could bring Anton, and he needs the minutes.
Many things with some players still are not, they were not good today, and we have to improve. Perfection doesn't exist, so it's impossible, but we have to try to look for. It's all the 6 goals they did, we have done it good. We can do better, and many players, a few players, sloppy passes will not good. We have to be more consistent in our passes.
It's his job, isn't it, to go away and try and reach for perfection with his side. But he'll surely be enjoying this one, a 6-3 victory in a Manchester derby. Have you got anything more to add on Erling Haaland, Micah?
He's just a genuine superstar. I think we all thought he would do well in the Premier League. Just adds a different dimension to this team. And you know what? At times when City would play really good and they wouldn't finish off games, but look at these numbers here, 14.
And he's still young, he's still learning
his trade.
Potential for this kid.
He's 4 clear in 8 goals. That's a goal every other game. That he's better than Mickey Quinn is the next one on the list. And you compared it. Well, you said people saying, can Manchester City replace Sergio Aguero? Well, on the first 8 games, not only has he replaced him, he's bettered him by 5 goals, and he's got 3 hat tricks.
Some greats in there: Owen Van Nistelrooy, Torres, Andy Cole, and Suarez. Look at the company he's in, and he's done it in 8 games. You just can't believe
goals he's getting. There's such a variation in his goals. Obviously, his heading ability. He's taking penalties. One-touch finish. He knows how to hold people off. He's getting tap-ins.
How clean he hits the strike, though, as well, bro.
And if required, how agile he is in order to kind of get his foot up above head height. The yoga's definitely paying off for Erling Haaland. Pep Guardiola said the numbers are scary, which is a big comment for somebody who's worked with so many talented players. 3 hat-tricks then at this stage of the season is equal to the number of hat-tricks in the Premier League that Cristiano Ronaldo has scored. He's on a big number. He's on 699 goals for Manchester United. Didn't get the chance to add to that total. We heard Eric Ten Hag there saying it's because he has respect for Ronaldo's career. And you could understand why maybe at 4-0 down at half-time he doesn't... Cristiano, can you do us a favour on the pitch? But the question will always be asked while he's sitting on the bench, able to play, then why doesn't he start?
No, I think Man United are showing, they're just showing disrespect to Ronaldo. I think he should have been left go before the transfer window. I think the manager holding on to him. Okay, you say you need options, but you don't hold on to Ronaldo to sit on the bench. He's one of the greatest players ever. He had options. This idea that he'd no options is rubbish. He did have options, 4 or 5 very good options to keep him. Okay, today the manager, he brought Martial and he scored 2, so yeah, that's justified. But generally speaking, the bigger picture, he's not going to play Ronaldo. We know that. He's played in 1 or 2 European games. It's just going to get uglier as the season goes on. Okay, Ronaldo's motivated with the World Cup coming up, and you hope. But if he's sitting on the bench for Man United week in, week out, it's not good. It's just going to get ugly. And I think United have shown nothing but disrespect to Ronaldo. They should have let him go when the opportunity came. And as I said, he did have options to go. I know that for a fact. And holding him onto him to sit on the bench, I think it's ridiculous for a player of his stature, Man United, to just keep. Even today, could he brought him on? Of course he could have brought him on. So what if you're 4-0 down? You look at his goals record. It's as good a chance of anyone putting the ball in the back of the net. People are obsessed with the pressing side of the game. You put the ball in the right areas, he'll score goals.
They couldn't win now, United, could they? Well, if they would have sold...
But he brought other players on.
If they would have... No, but I'm talking about in terms of selling him. If they would have sold him, there would have been uproar at Man United.
Why? Not if he's not going to play.
Just because the injury to Martial...
Martial was always going to come back.
Early days, and you can't
I don't agree, Mickey. No, I don't agree.
Go into a season with Rashford and Martial as your number 9s who... On a season by season, they did okay in some seasons, but consistency over the last couple of years.
They're going to keep him on the bench.
So what's in it for Manchester United then, to keep Cristiano Ronaldo, to keep paying his wages in order to make him sit on the bench?
I don't know.
Do you think it's a flexing of muscle, do you think?
Possibly so. And obviously there would have put, no doubt, probably an element of a transfer fee involved. But you respect the player. You make a deal happen that would suit all parties. No, I'm not saying a manager get rid of players and then he's shorted, but Martial was always going to be coming back. He wasn't going to be short, and Rashford started the season well. But you don't keep Ronaldo with his track record just to sit on the bench. I think it's disrespecting him 100%. Then the manager says, I don't put him on today because I didn't want to. So if that's in the manager's mindset, I'm not putting him on because I'm disrespecting him. You put players on the pitch who you think might help you try and get back in the game, or listen, you're 4-0 obviously it's game over, but try and, get some sort of consolation, a couple of goals or whatever. But he's got to be... Ronaldo's not going to be playing that Europa League, and these players, and even United lost the first game with the Real Sociedad. You're not even sure if the other lads are up for it. But I guarantee you they go to Liverpool, the next few games coming up, he'll be sitting on the bench. Still good. If that's a young player learning his trade, it's okay. He's 37. And then if you're not prepared to put him on, no, I don't agree with it.
Do you think it'll be a distraction in the dressing room now?
Well, it could be. I think it will get ugly as the season goes up. Because Ronaldo, the most natural thing in the world, is going to get frustrated. They're going to be in tomorrow. He's going to obviously have to train with the other lads, which is fine. That's the deal. But if it's clear that you're not really going to be starting, if everyone's fit, Ronaldo will not be starting against Man United. If there's a few injuries, of course. But Ronaldo doesn't want to be sitting there going, I'm kind of waiting on a few injuries that I might get an opportunity.
That's the manager's fault then, if he didn't let him go. The manager's got...
But that's where the trouble might be ahead, because you start, again, disrespecting players like that. It's going to be trouble ahead, I think.
So World Cup, as you say, coming up in a few weeks, at the end of which we're almost into the January transfer window. What do you think happens there?
Oh, who knows? Again, you cross that bridge and you get to it. But if he's not playing the games, then you'll have to revisit it in January, of course. But the next few months, of course, are going to be vital. But as I said, Ronaldo will be motivated, playing the odd game because of the World Cup, of course. And he'll be looking at his legacy and his brand and his pride. He wants to play. You could just see him in the warm-up today, and he's sitting on the bench. He'll be hurting badly, despite what he's won in the game. And he's won a few big prizes, let me tell you. But the great players and the top players want to play week in, week out. He did not come back to Manchester United to sit on the bench in a derby game.
But does this style of play suit the way they want to go? No, but it does.
Here we go.
No, in terms of, you come to the Etihad, Man City are going to have the majority of the ball.
They got hammered anyway.
I know, but when you...
we talk about pressing, it's the new buzzword in football. Yeah. Pressing.
Yeah, but when you set up, you're thinking,
I don't care
how are we going to win this game? How are we going to win this game?
If he's going to get me 20, 25 goals. He was leading goal scorer last year for Man United. I don't think he was doing too much pressing then. Man United have lost 3 games already this season.
The rest of the team were down, though, overall, which maybe speaks to Micah's point, in that Ronaldo's numbers were great, but the rest of the team, perhaps, you could argue, would
that's their
suffer.
fault. That's their fault, not Ronaldo's. I've never had a problem playing with a striker who scored 20, 25 goals ever. I don't care if they never ran back or they never even got hold of it. If I've got somebody scoring 20, we just looked at Aston Villa. We had a torch this afternoon looking at Aston Villa because their players couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. But we're criticising Ronaldo because the only thing he does is score goals.
No, but there's more to the game. I agree.
Not for attacking players. Not for certain attacking players.
I've agreed with you on the Ronaldo. I've agreed with you on the Ronaldo.
You've got another players you could use.
I said Ronaldo should last season. He should be playing 100%. I was agreeing with you, but I'm saying the way the manager wants to set up now, coming to the Etihad on the counter attack. Was it right?
They're 4-0 at half time.
But was it right
to start Ronaldo? Obviously not. They're 4-0 at half time.
Yeah, but you know that Man City are going to outpass you. They're going to outwork you.
Without Ronaldo.
So the manager probably thought before the game.
Well, he was wrong.
I'm going to play with high intensity play.
Well, he was wrong.
And it didn't work. I agree with you.
Right.
But the results that Man United have been getting against Liverpool, against Arsenal, sitting in, counter-attacked, and he's played people with, who's going to press high and intensity. So he's coming to this game thinking, and the manager's going to get it right.
Man United haven't pressed before. Is this a new buzzword?
I'm not saying that it's a new word, but I'm saying this season, playing that game on the counter attack with pressing and playing with people with urgency. I know. No, I agree with you. But I thought today's game.
Who was the leading goal scorer for Man United last year?
Ronaldo.
All right, brilliant.
And the point is that if he stays on the bench, as you say,
it becomes
a messy situation because
and deservedly so, because Man United had a chance to let him go and they held on to him knowing he was going to be sitting on the bench, not thinking, well, he might start 60-70% of the game, knowing he's going to be sitting on the bench for Man United. The player deserves more than that.
And he's Cristiano Ronaldo, so he will pull focus even if he is sitting on the bench rather than on the pitch. Let's take a look at just about amicable here in the studio. Is into goals against Leeds. That one finished goalless. All the goals today were at the Etihad with 2 hat-tricks in the game for Phil Foden and Erling Haaland, and Manchester City took it 6-3.
Setting quite a rivalry. Foden! And it's the local hero. Magic touch. De Bruyne. Haaland, can he reach it? You bet he can. And Foden! This is sensational. When do you see football like this? United no answer. By Anthony, who scored a wonderful goal. Gomez, fast and low. 3 in 3 games at the Etihad. Haaland. Foden, is he going to get his hat-trick? He's emulating Erling Haaland. Martial. And it's going to be number 2. And they've got a penalty. He puts it away for his second. United's 3rd. Extraordinary scoreline of City 6, United 3.